Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, it seems like Erdogan was successful in his negotiations with Putin in Sochi regarding the grain deliveries to the rest of the world. So we had a few weasels that said that Erdogan failed to secure a deal for the Black Sea grain deal. Well, it's clear. But he secured something else. The Turks and the Russians will make sure that they will supply 1 million tons of grain to the world. They saved the world. Hunger is gone. Well, no, you're not going to hear this one coming from these guys. But why? Because they want Ukraine to be able to sell its grain to 38% to the European Union, right? I guess. So what's going on here? Russia said that they will make sure that they will provide free passage with no harassment to the ships that go and pick up grain and deliver grain to the world, which is 38% European Union. Don't forget that one. That's based on United Nations data. 38% of the Ukrainian grain goes to European Union, 30% to Turkey, 20% to China, and about 2 to 3% goes to the global south, which is the guy that these guys are saying are going to be starving. Not them with 38%, but the ones with 2%. Anyway, so all this agreement, the Black Sea grain agreement was done. Hey, we're going to do this, but in return, the Russians said, you're going to facilitate this. Like you're going to reverse certain kind of sanctions. You allow our fertilizer and grain to be going and being, you do that. Well, they didn't. That's what the Russians said. The other guy says, yeah, we did. The Russian says, no, you didn't. We pull out of this. But on the other hand, the Russians said, you know what? We're going to supply. And you supply in your shed over there. There's no blockade in the Black Sea. These guys are telling you it's a blockade. No, the Russians said, we will inspect whatever ship goes to pick up whatever from Ukraine in the Black Sea. If you think that has military equipment in it, that means weapons, we're going to stop it and inspect it at a gunpoint. Do something about it. That's what I say. They're in a blockade, like they're not going to allow people or tankers to go. That's why when you see someone make an article, we broke the blockade. There's no blockade. The shipment, the metallurgical guy was able to go and broke the blockade like heroes. Nobody cared about them. They cared about what goes in case they suspect that's weapons delivery. Got that? So once you know that one, put the garbage these guys are giving you. Now, what's going on here? Erdogan went over there to speak with Putin, and eventually Putin said, you know what? I'm not going to go back to those guys. The Black Sea Agreement is if they implement our capability to sell our fertilizer, our grain on their market. If they don't, we're not going to do anything about it. Screw you. We're going to do our own thing. And Turkey and the United Arab Emirates are going to do something else. The United Arab Emirates will going to provide the money. The Turks will provide the logistics. And the Russians will provide the grain and the military free passage of their ships. The transit, pop, deliveries and pickups. So that's what it is. Now, these guys said, I'm going to show you here. Let me go like this first, so you see how weasels these guys are. Here, this is come from the NPR. I'm forced to pay for NPR, but it's not a state-owned company somewhere. But from my taxes, it seems like I pay for these weasels. I don't want to pay. I want my money back. I don't want my money to go over there. You don't have a say, Emil. You. Right? But this is capitalism for you. Invest in something that you don't want, a service that you don't want. Anyway, it says here, Turkey has failed to persuade Russia to rejoin the Ukraine grain deal. True, and I told you why. This is September 4th. We have these guys right here. Turkey Erdogan fails to persuade Russians Putin to return to the Black Sea grain deal. Again, true. And then we have now this thing that comes like saviors. Sputnik, Russia, Turkiye reach agreement on supply of 1 million tons of grain 3 hours ago, today on the 6th of September 2023. So you see, they said you don't want to deal with us and it's a blackmail. What do you mean? It's negotiation. You know what negotiation is? If you don't agree with it, I'm not gonna do. I don't like these terms. I don't like the terms. Oh, you gotta do it, otherwise you blackmail. So the Russians are supposed to do what? Anyway, this is what they blame the Russians. You keep the world hostage. No, they don't. Look over there. 1 million tons. No more hunger, right? No, nobody will hail that. Why? Because it's not done by the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians can sell that shit. These guys are going to bombard it, unfortunately, which is bad. But hey, you know, we are at war, aren't we? No, we're not. We just look around. So let's see what's going on here. Russia and Turkiye have reached an agreement on a supply of 1 million tons of grain, and the discussion of technical details will begin in the near future. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Alexander Grushko said on Wednesday, and I'm quoting, all fundamental agreements have been reached. No more hunger. We expect that in the near future we will begin discussions with all parties to work out all technical aspects of the scheme of such supplies, end quote. And Erdogan is looking for his country's interest. I don't want to have an expensive, pastry and whatever in Turkey. I'm going to do this thing with, I don't care about the Americans telling me this and this. No, it's my people. And that's his people. He's a Turk with Turkish people, okay? He's not a Ukrainian, okay? I was about to say Zelensky, anyway. So here is and it says, Moscow ready to return to grain deal after conditions concerning it are fulfilled. They said yes, but let's go on this one so you say what these guys say, not what CNN tells you. Not that these guys are telling the truth, but if you are about to charge someone with a crime, you have to listen to his testimony as well, not only to the accusers. You have to hear the defense as well. Moscow ready to return to grain deal after conditions concerning it are fulfilled, Kremlin. And it says here, Moscow is ready to immediately return to the grain deal, Peskov said, but this will take place only after the conditions concerning Russia are fulfilled. So, however, as Russia's efforts weren't without issue, the president underscored Western figures continuously. Well, that's not important over there. But anyway, this is what they claim. That we're going to come back, the Russians, but you need to do this right here. In July 2022, you can verify that. Russia, Turkey, and the United Nations came to the agreement that established a humanitarian corridor for ships that allowed the passage of food and fertilizer exports. However, the understanding later unraveled over various factors, including the failure to produce sanctions relief, loan guarantees, and the fact that grain export failed to reach countries in need. Due to the unmet conditions, the deal was ultimately allowed to expire on July 18. It expired. So the Russians stayed 1 year and then said, you know what, we're not going to do this garbage anymore. We're going to go our way. And that's it. Here I go again on my own. Here you have it. So, my friends, I'm not saying it's good, it's bullshit that there's a war over there and there are some profiteers. It shouldn't have been a war, but Zelensky, if you remember, he campaigned, he's going to make peace, and going to clear and everything's going to be all right. If he would have implemented what he was required, because his country, Ukraine, signed it, we have guarantors, France and Germany, to Minsk Agreements 1 and 2, we wouldn't have this garbage at all. But hey, I think it ran against other people's interests. And the interest is Russia must be kneeled, then China is going to get the hint, and if it doesn't get the hint, needs to be healed, and then kneeled. And the next one, nobody. What? Do you think that India will pose a problem? No. Do you think that Brazil? No. Who else? Iran contained, North Korea contained, and that's it. And we can extend our Pax Americana. But we are in charge, okay? We keep peace on our terms, and you have to accept it. There's no negotiating. Why? Because we know better, and we're the good ones. This is how the story goes. Now, how do you like that to be told? I don't like it. I mean, I'm here, but I can put myself in other people's shoes and say, what do you mean? It's very arrogant. Shut the hell up. Boom. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.